SGC here, and we're back with a movie review, Chef. A 2014 American comedy film directed and co-produced and written by and stars Jon Favreau. There's a lot of co-stars here, check below for the full list, but the main players here are Jon Favreau, Sofía Vergara, John Leguizamo, and introducing Emjay Anthony. So what's this film about? Well, basically it's about a Miami-born chef by the name of Carl Casper, played by Jon Favreau, who has a chance to prove himself in an LA restaurant and totally bombs it, and bad publicity turns Carl into a social media sensation, and pretty much he has to rediscover himself, and he realizes that he has to go back to his roots back in Miami and start a food truck, and that's pretty much the entire story. So what I like about this film, well, first off, the biggest thing is that I really enjoyed the chemistry between Jon Favreau and Emjay Anthony. They play father and son. Jon has divorced his wife, Sofía Vergara. Emjay Anthony visits back and forth, and during this time he chills out with his dad on the food truck, and it's really amazing. I really enjoyed the chemistry, and the biggest thing I really enjoyed was the whole disconnected father with technology thing, as in like the kid knew everything, like Twitter, Vine, memes, and everything, and everyone else didn't. Like Jon Favreau didn't, John Leguizamo didn't, they didn't understand it. But pretty much it's like because of the kid that the food truck got so much more stuff. And I really enjoyed how they portray that, as in this kid is really helping out, as in it's a different thing, as in, and Jon Favreau actually accepts it and really appreciates it, and like tries to learn it, which is pretty cool. And actually this Twitter thing actually plays a big part in the movie, and I really did enjoy how they incorporated that, because if they just went with the whole like, oh, I don't care about your technology thing, you know, this is the real stuff, we talk to real life people, like, I'm sick of that. Like, move with the times, people. We advance to the part where social media is a big part of our lives. Don't reject it, just accept it and use it wisely, sort of thing. That's what I always saw it as. So I really am turned off when people go like, oh, about social media. So it was really great to see them using it well and just incorporating it really well. Also enjoyed the chemistry between Jon Favreau and Sofía Vergara as the 4Cs, mainly because they didn't hate each other. I think for me, I've been sick of like split up couples that just don't like each other, or they just like snap at each other. But like here, Sofía plays a mom that's super caring and just really is supportive, and it's just really fun to see her outside of Modern Family and to see her in a role that pretty much is sort of Modern Family but toned down and a lot more nice, I guess, in terms of just to the husband and not as sarcastic, but whatever, off track. I really like that chemistry because it brought another level of Jon Favreau, as into he has to, like, you know, deal things with his son, but now he's deal things with his ex-wife, and it was just fun. And also just the last person, John Leguizamo, he has a great line. He was like the comedy relief here and there, and it was just really encouraging to see him just being a supportive guy. Like, he really is gung-ho. So basically, all the chemistry that I talk about is positive, and I really did enjoy that. Because, I mean, this movie could have went downhill if they went just, like, super negative, like people ditching him because he just left the restaurant, and his son hates him, blah, 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 or his wife hates him, blah, blah, blah. Like, it could have been a negative film for sure, but no, it went on a positive spin, and I really did enjoy that. So those are really great things about this film. Now, if I had to dislike stuff, I have to nitpick here. Well, first off, with food, like, Chef is, you would imagine, a lot of food, and I would say there's not that much food in this movie. Like, realistically, it's more about relationships between the characters, and the food is important in the beginning. You see how they prep it and stuff, and it's really awesome, and some prepping is done, but you would think that there would be more food in the movie called Chef, but I would say it wasn't enough. But, I mean, I get where they're going, but it could have been sort of false advertising, as in, like, Chef, so you would expect tons of food and just awesome and stuff. But it did make me hungry for sure when I watched it in the morning, so I guess it delivered. As this is labeled as a comedy, I would say it's not really that funny. There were probably one or two times where I laughed out loud, but majority of the film is just a positive film about relationships, about how picking yourself up and just like realizing where you need to go in the next part of your life, sort of thing. So the laughs aren't really there, and I think it might bother some people, but I enjoyed how they handled it, and I totally enjoyed all the supporting cast as well. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. pretty much plays Tony Stark here once again, but he's talking to Jon Favreau, his director in Iron Man. And Scarlett Johansson has more screen time than Robert Downey Jr. She plays sort of like this sort of lover, but not really, and she delivers. My highlight for sure is Dustin Hoffman playing such a strict and just like no bullshit restaurant owner, and it was super fun just to see him interact with Jon Favreau. So yeah, basically that's just my nitpicking. Really, there isn't that many faults with this film. I really enjoyed it. It was fun, came out positive, and I really loved the positivity that the entire storyline did, and everyone was happy, and it was just really enjoyable. So I would totally recommend it if you're looking for a film that just explores the relationship between like a broken family. A man has to discover himself once again as he's losing his way, sort of thing. And yeah, so music time. And if you have seen Chef, leave a comment below, tell me how you thought about it, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible, and we'll discuss. And that's pretty much it for this movie review of Chef. Out!